Look at the birds that fly in the air. Look at the way our Lord loves and cares. Look how they're born and how they live and how they grow. They never worry about the things that they don't know. Let go your life, let go your stress. Do not worry when your life is in a mess. How can we move past the sorrow felt each day? Focus on Christ's voice every minute, every hour, every day by day, every minute, every hour, every day by day, every minute, every hour, every day by day. Look at this land, the sea and the sand. Everything's made by God's own hand. Look at the stars and those planets far above. Infinite color, God's artistry of love. How can we show God our love? How can we find His peace in our hearts? How can we move past the sorrow felt each day? Focus on Christ's voice every minute, every hour, every day by day, every minute, every hour, every day by day, every minute, every hour, every day by day. Live your life like the stars in the sky, full of expression without asking why. Let go your knowledge and your need to know. Focus on Christ and you will spiritually grow. How can we show God our love? How can we find His peace in our hearts? How can we move past the sorrow felt each day? Focus on Christ's voice every minute, every hour, every day by day, every minute, every hour, every day by day, every minute, every hour, every day by day. Hello, hello, and welcome. Friday Live Jammers here once more, round again. We're back again. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a pleasure, as always, to be here. And I've got some super guests with us today. We've got Albert in person. So this is always a treat when we can get Albert and get a little time, because we like to get a wee bit time to yourself.
Yeah,
As
absolutely.
two old dogs,
Absolutely.
you see, we can plunk away into our heart's content. It's the contribution that counts. And also, we've got online, we have Ian. Ian's dashing away today. He's got some commitments that he's got to get to, but he's been good enough to come in and join us, which is always a pleasure. And going forward, near the middle of the broadcast, we've got a fabulous new single from Duncan Collins.
Oh, that sounds
and
good.
we're going to listen to that and watch it, so that's going to be great. So, Ian, do you want to open up with something that you've got on your heart, and it lets you give us a contribution.
Totally. I have a song which I wrote based on the prayer of Jesus from Matthew chapter 6. So you know about that prayer where it's very famous, the most famous, the Lord's Prayer, where he says, "This then is how you should pray. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name." And it goes on from there. And I remember in primary school learning that prayer and standing at my desk and all of us praying that prayer. And they don't do that in school anymore, which is sad. But I believe that it is a prayer that we need to continue to pray. And so this song just encourages people, encourages me anyway, to keep praying that prayer, to keep saying, "Hallowed be thy name, hallowed be thy name," and to pray that prayer. So here we go. Hallowed be thy name, hallowed be thy name. Whatever situation I find myself in, you are the lifter of my head, my glory, Lord. You are my strength when I was weak. When I fall down, no, you carry me. You are my light, deliverer from darkness. You are my hope, you're all I need. Hallowed be thy name, hallowed be thy name. Whatever situation I find myself in, you are the lifter of my head, my glory, Lord. 'Cause there's no one like you, there's nobody greater, no one like you. And I'll say it again, there's no one like you. There's nobody greater, no one like you. And I know it's true, so I say, hallowed be thy name, hallowed be thy name. Whatever situation I find myself in, you are the lifter of my head, my glory, Lord. Just join with me and sing, hallowed be thy name, hallowed be thy name. Whatever situation that I find myself in, you are the lifter of my head, my glory, Lord. Sing along, Matty. Hallowed be thy name, hallowed be thy name. Whatever situation I find myself in, you are the lifter of my head, my glory, Lord. There's no one like you, there's nobody greater, no one like you. Gonna sing it again, there's no one like you, there's nobody greater, no one like you. And I know it's true, so I sing, hallowed be thy name, hallowed be thy name. Whatever situation I find myself in, you are the lifter of my head, my glory, Lord.
Lovely, Ian. Thanks
Thank
so
you.
muted. It's awesome. Thanks so much. Smashing that you could join us.
You're
Now,
welcome.
we know you're dashing away. So we'll let you
Yes.
unplug.
Yes,
and
I'm
get
off
off.
to Edinburgh, where there's a 24 hours of worship happening, just started at 3 o'clock, and it's running until 24 hours tomorrow. So I'm going to take part in that, and it's going to be great. And if you want to come along, just send me a message or ask, and I'll put it in the chat where you can go.
Thank you, Ian. Fully committed. 24-hour
24
worship.
hours.
That's the hardcore. Well
Absolutely.
done.
Of
And
course.
we've got lots of people in. Ailsa's in. Thank you so much, Ailsa, for coming in. I do hope you're feeling strong. I know you've been waiting to get some operations and things, so I do hope that things are going to plan. And Catriona is there too, and Matthew as well. Matthew's got the drum ready. We've got some stuff. I think we could jolly stuff, Matthew. I think we can get you to join in, so that's going to be good too. And Paul, hooray, hooray! He says, wonderful. And yeah, it's brilliant to see Landon too. Landon, God bless you, Landon. It's early doors where he is. Of course, Landon's over in America.
Yep.
And he's over this month. I think it's sometime maybe about the 18th or the 24th. He's coming back. So we've got some great guests coming along in the next month. I've managed to book up quite a few folks. We've got Duncan, we've got Angus and Andrea coming in at some point too.
Great.
And we've got Shona coming back as well with little James. So she's going to come in
Sounds
too.
good.
So we've a full schedule of stuff coming up, which is we're looking forward to. So thank you all for joining us, and keep those comments coming through to us. We need every one of them. Thank you. Now, Albert, you've got a few songs you've brought to us today. One of which I know. This one I don't know. Tell us a little about its origin.
Well, this is a story that we all know. It's the story of the prodigal son. Remember, Jesus told that story about the lad who was just fed up at home. He'd had enough, and he decides he's going to go off and do his own thing. But in order to do his own thing, he decides that he wants to. He needs money. So he goes to his dad, and he asks his dad to give him his inheritance before his father dies. And of course, his father gives him his inheritance, and then he goes off and he spends it and wastes it. And then he's in a bad way, and he comes back seeking just to get a place of employment with his dad. But instead of doing that, his dad welcomes him back, and by grace receives him back again and welcomes him back into the family. And of course, when Jesus told that story, it was a shocking story, because people would say, this is nonsense, he shouldn't be allowed to just come back. And of course, the elder brother wasn't happy anyway. He steps out and he was unhappy about it all. And it's a story of grace. And it's really a story about how God doesn't treat us as the way we deserve, but he treats us because he loves us and accepts us. And then that son who was brought back again from a very difficult situation was full of admiration for his father, because his father had loved him so much. So that's a story of grace, and it's a story perhaps of all of us in some ways. When we go through life, we make some bad calls, and we wonder, is there ever a way back? And that story of Jesus tells us there is always a way back into the Father's life and into the Father's home. So that's what the song's about. And it's a song that is, many years ago, this song was written as part of a group called BAMS Week. Bo Ness and Mabel Ministers got together, and we brought youth groups together. And this was a kind of song that came out of a joint endeavour by some young people. And Ian Jimison and myself polished it up towards the end to make it come together as a wee song.
Lovely, let's hear it.
So it goes something like this. I always think it's a wee bit, I don't know. Anyway, it goes. Never thought he'd treat me like his son again. Radio was blaring down memory lane. I caught a glimpse of what I might have been. If only I'd stayed. I'm going home. I'm going back. And if he's given up on me and thrown away the key, I'll be the loser. Never thought he'd treat me like his son again. Radio was blaring down memory lane. I caught a glimpse of what I might have been. If only I stayed. I'm going home. I'm going back. And if he's given up on me and thrown away the key, I'll be the loser. Now my fair weather friends are nowhere to be found. Pieces of my shattered life have fallen to the ground. I've surely reaped the whirlwind I have sown. If only I'd known. I'm going home. I'm going back. And if he's given up on me and thrown away the key, I'll be the loser. Always knew I was my father's son, even though I skipped the nest and chose to run. A waiting father's found a loving son. If only I had known. I'm going home. I'm going back. And if he's given up on me and thrown away the key, I'll be the loser.
There's another chorus. Another chorus.
I'm going home. I'm going back. And if he's given up on me and thrown away the key, I'll be the loser. That's one of these songs that just keeps on going. You can't get out of it.
I got the chorus near the end. Thank you so much. That was lovely. I got the chorus near the end. And Landon saying, I don't know why I never thought Albert was a musician, but I've always just seen him. He was commenting there. I've really seen him as the front and centre of the ministry and praise. And here we are. Yes, he's got probably a half a dozen albums to his name, Landon. The Bogle Band in the 80s. You need to look it up. He was famous before fame was ever invented.
Absolutely
Ever invented.
Nonsense.
Put the C in Christian worship leader, so he did. He did indeed. But you've got a problem with your voice just now and problems with your throat, haven't you? So even for that, we welcome this contribution. It never ever needs to be perfect here because we're just not. When it goes out and hopefully the Spirit will make it sound
it's never
perfect.
perfect when I do it anyway, so it's just life.
That's fine. And Ailsa's saying, thank you for the thoughts. Yes, our thoughts are with you and with everybody that's going through some trials just now. It really is difficult. It's difficult to overcome sometimes our circumstances. And you know, the first song that I did there, I put it in there as a little filler, but it's an important song for me every minute, every hour, every day by day. And I've implored others to get a chant when they're feeling that they're a bit challenged with their circumstances. I feel that there's always a prayer, a little chant that we can say, especially sleepless nights and difficult things that are on our minds. And health is one of these things. And that first song is about that. It's about focusing on Christ's voice. I was doing it last night, every minute, every hour, every day by day. And I get such relief from the kind of the worries, if you like, of the world.
Yeah, and I think sometimes, Jim, we need to give ourselves a break. We talk about giving other people a break, but sometimes we need to give ourselves a break and understand if we've not had a sleep, if we're not eating well, we're not going to feel good. And therefore, it's not all about you, but sometimes it's about the circumstances that are around you. And sometimes we just need to say, okay, that's how I'm feeling like this today. It's not because God doesn't love me, but it's because I've not had any sleep.
Yes.
And and I've not been able. And why I'm thinking this way about so and so is because I've not had any sleep. But if I get onto an even keel, I can feel a lot better. And I think it's just so important that we do that. But sometimes we can forget, can't we?
Well, I'm in that chant. I'm passing up these difficulties. I'm admitting, confessing these difficulties that I'm not able to cope, and I'm needing my Father to intervene. And that's all it is. So this is all we're sharing really there. And I know there's been some prayers for healing too. So when the community come together and imagine those hundreds or thousands of voices that might just be praying for each other for some healing. And it can work wonders. As I say, it can just plant a seed of faith, which is the seed towards healing. Now we've got a fabulous new first edition song coming through for you. It's Duncan and Shona's psalmist, the Scottish psalmist. They've got their single out, and they've got another single coming out. They're releasing 2 singles, but this first one is fabulous, and it's you can hear them live on the 28th of October, but the tickets are booking up quick. But we're hoping to get some recordings and things like that so that we can get them to share. Now, they're going to come in next week. Duncan, I think, is coming in next week and share some of his music. And Shona maybe a couple of weeks after. So we're doing a wee bit of a promotion for our fellow Duncan and Shona, the Scottish psalmists. So, Neil, if you would play that video now. It's a fabulous song. Bask in this, bask in this. It'll take you to heaven and back.
Continues to work and to move, who's reaching his arm and who holds out his hand, whose mercy will break through. Sing, for salvation comes. Sing, for he gave his own son. To the ends of the earth he is reaching in love as he gathers his daughters and sons. Come all his daughters and sons, break out in joy to the Lord, burst in a glorious song, for the King is coming soon. Make music with all that's within, blast out the horn of salvation. The depths of the seas resound. Let praises arise from the ground. Let rivers clap hands. Let high mountains stand, proclaiming in him joy abounds. Let all the people cry worthy. Let justice roll out through the world. For Christ will arise with his scepter held high, and his kingdom will reign on the earth. Let the King come to the earth. Break out
Well, wasn't that fabulous? We could hear that all over again. It was just beautiful, wasn't it? They capture such harmonies. And of course, the Psalms are the basis for Duncan's musical talents. But Shona adds that fabulous choral and lead to fragility that only she can do. It is wonderful. So beautiful, beautiful song. You can get that, I think, on the media, there's social media, Spotify, and you'll also find it on their website, thescottishpsalmist.org. So they've got loads and loads of stuff. We'll post it up there, and we'll get them so that you can check them out, because that's the whole album I sent. And they've got an album. I think there's 8 or 10 songs on there. Fabulous, fabulous stuff. So well done, Duncan and Shona. And little James, he's on a supporting role. Now, you set me a challenge at the beginning of this week. Albert set me a challenge, and it's always with dread. I think, oh no, I get an email that comes through, and I go, oh no, what's this one coming up? He said, well, I've got this. There's this set of words that I think they're speaking to me, and it's something that you should have a look at and maybe see if you can do this song. And it was called "Come Down, O Love Divine."
Yeah, it's a beautiful song, Jim. It ties in with our service on Sunday, because the service on Sunday, if you're able to come in and join us, please do, because we're looking and thinking about the holy overshadowing of God in the burning bush, and the presence of God, who picks up Moses, who has run away made a mess of his life, and he's murdered somebody, and he's hiding in the desert, away from God, and then God breaks in the most ordinary place, and the bush starts to burn, and speaks to him out of the bush. And we're talking about how the Holy Spirit can touch our lives and come and speak to us. And this is a song of great devotion, and Christians have sung it for years in traditional churches. And sometimes we forget the beauty and the devotion that's in some of these old hymns, Jim. And I thought, I know that it's a song that you could maybe reinterpret, but give it another opportunity to be played and sung and to be enjoyed.
It was, and it's a bit with dread, and a bit with but the strange thing and the wonderful thing that comes from that is that I sat down just after he did it. I'll sit and I'll see what I think. Now, looking at the words, and I'm looking through a little archive of tunes and things that I've never managed to put words to, because I've got loads of these little snippets that I don't know what to do with, and I came up with this little. I'll start there. And then I couldn't quite get all the words to fit, so I thought I'm going to have to reinterpret the words. So I started to reinterpret the words to what I could, because I didn't understand the language terribly well. And being dyslexic, it's difficult for me not only to read terribly well, but to understand words and written words. So I have to put everything into my own kind of translation. This is what's the odd thing and the wonderful thing in some occasions. So I'm going to expose you to this one, and Albert's not heard it, so it's with trepidation as always. Come Down, O Love Divine. And on Sunday we're hoping to get, Neil's going to put the words up.
Right.
So that everyone can see the new words or the interpretation of the new words, and maybe sing along in the chorus, because there's a lovely little bridge of chorus. Your love divine, come down, O love divine. So be with me with this one, please, because this is an awkward one. And the master and mentor's here, so it puts me under a great cosh. But I hope you enjoy this one. And I need to use a bit of a pick, so I'll try not to swallow my pick either. Come down, O love divine, seek out my soul, visit with your glowing comforter's roll, peace in our souls, Lord, our comforter Let it burn freely till earth passions turn, consumed by your fire, to ashes return. Let your light shine till your pathway is clear. Hope is your answer, so no one will fear. Your love divine, your love divine, your love divine, come down, oh love divine. Dwell in me, Father, let your grace be. Come to my heart, Lord, dwell within me. Oh, humble me, Father, be my stronghold. Humble your children with love, love divine, your love divine, your love divine, your love divine. Oh, come down, love divine, your love divine. Your love divine, your love divine, oh come down, oh love divine. Thank you so much. A little, I was struggling to get started there. Another couple of goes and it'll be warming up. It'll warm up.
Jim, that's a beautiful song. That's a lovely version of it. Looking forward to it being placed in the service on Sunday in context. I think it sounds great.
I needed to get it done today, you see, to kind of birth it, if you like, because
Yeah.
it calms the nerves down. And Anne saying loved it. Oh, thank you so much, Anne. It does. Thanks so much. As we step forward when we never quite know what we're doing, isn't that the time that we get rewarded for the lovely comments? Awesome. Ailsa's saying awesome. Thank you so much, Ailsa. We do need to encourage each other
Yeah.
to do. I'll slicken it up and we'll see how it goes. But then maybe I can get Ian when he comes back to help me with it and a bit of choruses and stuff. And I loved it like you were doing too. That was great.
Oh,
that
no,
was great.
Really.
So thank you so much for that. It's a challenge and a half, and it's always with trepidation. You know, it's like the head teacher telling you to try something and buck your ideas up and tie your sand shoes right and things like that. And off you go and you do. You just want to try and make it work. So thank you. Now, I'm hoping, Albert, you've got another wee song.
Yeah, this song I'm going to sing is called I Guess You're the Light of the World. And it's a song about finding faith and then how easy it is when you find faith to, you wonder if you should really tell your friends that you're a Christian, and you kind of hide things away because you think they might not quite understand. But yet, the reality is that it's as we shine and as we share something of our faith, it becomes the light that helps people see, and the light of the world shines into our lives as well. And Jesus said, "Let your light so shine before people that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven." So our Christian life is meant to be a life that is not just about living and singing songs, but it's about living the song out in our everyday life and our everyday actions.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
I've wondered about that. I've always wondered about that. But there you are. It's always an education when Albert comes and we get a wee chance to chat. So that's
So
lovely.
this is it. They gave me clues to find. The idea there was, if you look around the world, you'll see the clues. That sometimes God just doesn't come in and jump in front of you and say, "Here I am," but He gives you clues to find when you're not quite getting it. And that's what the song is about. You gave me clues to find. I was hiding in the shadows, running behind, and you think, "I'm not getting this," and then it says, "I never had a choice." When you touched me and found me in the darkness with your warmth of your voice, that sometimes we get surprised by the presence of God who comes close to us when we were least expecting it. You give me clues to find. I was hiding in the shadow, running behind. I guess I never had a choice. When you touch me in the darkness with the warmth of your voice, once again I tried to take you in. You simply understood my foolish grin. You turned on my lights. I guess you are the light of the world. I got the book you wrote. I even memorized a few of the quotes. There's power in your word, but I hide them from my friends under my coat. I really want to trust your word, even when it feels absurd, 'cause you turned on my lights. I guess you are the light of the world. So help me grow in grace, even when dark clouds are hiding your face. I got so much to learn. I guess the way you teach me is not my concern. I really want to trust your word, even when my friends think it absurd, 'cause you turned on my lights. I guess you are the light of the world. You turned on my lights. I guess you are the light of the world.
Well done, Albert.
I got a
Sorry.
wee bit mixed up there.
I
in the
got
middle
mixed up
there.
as well, but there you go. I was putting them off. Thank you so much. And we had some lovely comments there about covers and tributes. That's possibly a good way to describe what I was attempting to do with the other song. And thank you so much. And Sarah said she loved it too. So Sarah Kinsey, thank you so much for coming in. Sarah downloads and listens to the live jam on the road to work in her car, and she listens to it. So that's fabulous when she's going off to work. One of my favourites, Anne said. That's one of my favourite Albert tune. Yes, we'll have a wee bit more practice at it, Anne, and maybe
You can hear it properly if you want to download it. You can actually get it on the Turn album, and you can hear the Bogle Band playing it, and Ian Jimison and others playing it, and it sounds an awful lot better. You can get it on the Turn album in Spotify or on iTunes, so that's where you can find it.
And Paul was saying, is there any banjo? Alas, Paul, my apologies, there's not. We'll need to try and get some banjo tunes and get it slotted in somehow. I need extra mics for it. And probably, yes, it's coming soon. Banjo's coming soon. Do you know, there is a song in actually Sunday service, Past the Promise, that maybe is a banjo tune. So there's maybe something on Sunday there for you, Paul.
Oh, there you go.
So tune into Sunday service, of course.
Yeah, Sunday
It's
service
3
is going to be
o'clock.
really good. Do you know, I've actually, and for Sunday service also, I've written a little poem called Nectamen
We'll find out what it is on Sunday. So if you want to know the name of that poem, come in on Sunday to Sunday Live service and you will find out this special poem that Albert's written.
Nec Tamlin consumitar. And it's
No wonder you couldn't remember that.
It's a wee bit Latin, and it says, yet not consumed. And it's about just saying that we sometimes think everything's lost, but it need not be, because God's Spirit is always at work in our lives.
Fabulous. And there you are, Anne saying she was listening to that tune on the album, Albert. So there you are.
go.
She's been listening to it. Yes, it's fabulous. And Elaine says she loves that song too. Elaine, so, Elaine, God bless you for coming in. I do hope you're well and enjoying maybe out in the garden, wherever you are. Remember, the app's a great thing to get you on the move everywhere you can be. You can join us on things like the Live Jam on a Friday or in the Sunday service on your app, on the move. You can
Absolutely.
be out and about. You don't need to be in any one place, and you can always join us there through the app. It's a fabulous way to keep in touch with things. That's great. Now, I've got one last song I was wanting to do. It was a song I in the mid of a crisis. I think it was a couple of weeks ago. I lost some of my songs on my iPad, and it's called Heart of God, and it's a Zach Williams song. I don't know if you managed to download it or go and discover Zach Williams material. It's really wonderful. He's got some great songs. I think Chainbreaker's another one. But really, really great song. But the Heart of God, it's really about the love. The heart of God only has love. And it's about there's only love in God's heart. Only love in God's heart. And I loved that message. I thought, what a wonderful, wonderful message to remember and cling to, that there's only love in God's heart. Despite our circumstances and what's going on there, there's only love in God's heart. And there's a lovely bridge in it too. I'll just explain it a little. He's not sitting there shaking his head, writing you off, leaving you lost. So for all of us lost souls that are sitting there, nobody's sitting there shaking their head, writing us off, leaving us lost. No way, no way, Jose. He's there giving us all the love. That was why he went to the cross. And I thought, the words are fabulous in this one, so I have to try and do it. And just at that crucial moment, I think I did a wee verse of it, but I lost the music and couldn't do anything. So this is me coming back to it again, and it's a beautiful song. I know you're hurting, I can see it in your eyes. So pull back the curtains and take off your disguise. Whoever told you you ain't worth the fight? Cross tells a story that'll change your mind. There's only love in the heart of God. No room for shame in His open arms. There's beauty from ashes, so come as you are. There's only love in the heart of God. Come, prodigal children, it's never too late. Run home to Father, let Him clothe you in grace. Bury your burdens, break free from your fears. Step out of the shadow, there's no judgment here. There's only love in the heart of God. No room for shame as His open arms. There's beauty from ashes, so come as you are. There's only love in the heart of God. No, He's not sitting there shaking His head, writing you off or leaving you lost. No, He's He's not sitting there shaking his head, wishing he never went to that cross. He's not sitting there shaking his head. He's writing you off for leaving you lost. He's not sitting there shaking his head. He went to the cross. He went to the cross. Oh, he went to the cross. There's only love in the heart of God. No room for shame in his open arms. He makes beauty from ashes, so come as you are. There's only love in the heart of God. No room for shame in his open arms. There's beauty from ashes, so come as you are. 'Cause there's only love in the heart of God. There's only love in the heart of God. There's only love. A lovely Zach Williams song, a fabulous song. You need to download that one or go on to YouTube and find that one there. It's a great song. He does a brilliant version of that. I think I maybe never picked the right key, but there you go. We'll see.
It sounded great to me, Jim.
Oh, well.
Great, powerful statement. There's only love in the heart of God. You know,
Isn't it just? And a place, as Landon said, a place for sinners. There are indeed. And that's the thing, we're all welcomed. We're all welcomed at that table to share that bread, to share that wine. So thank you so much. There's so many people been commenting and sending love to Ian. And Paul's sending a wee message to Ian, which is great. And keep those conversations and communications coming between each other, because that's the wonderful thing. There's only love in the heart of God. That's the truth. Yes, Ian is saying. God bless you. So look, watch out for Sunday Live, 3 o'clock. It's Albert. And who's with you, Albert?
Jack Shuttleworth is making his
wonderful.
debut with us as a presenter. So,
Marvellous.
young Jack and his dad Alec is actually reciting the poem I wrote.
Well, that's
so
a treat.
It's going to be a great service. So please look forward to being part of it.
A double team of the Shuttleworths. That is a treat. And Jack brings such a young dynamic presentation, which is always refreshing. There's quite a few. I love some of the freshness that comes through from that. So thank you so much. I'll play out just with a little bit of Only Love with the Heart of God, and we'll phase out there nicely. So thank you so much for coming in again and joining us, and we look forward to Sunday Live at 3. There's only love in the heart of God. No shame for shame in his open arms. Beauty from ashes, you'll come as you are. There's only love in the heart of God. There's only love.